Hey there, meatheads. It's Christian with a quick message about Instacart. Hey, just checking before we go any further. Are you running low on snacks? Are you running low on any kind of beverages? I know I am, and I really don't want to go out there. So why don't we let the good folks at Instacart help us out? They can get your order delivered to your door in as little as 30 minutes. 30 minutes. That's pretty damn quick if you ask me. Not only that, they're offering our meatheads, our beloved meatheads, a special offer. You can get free priority delivering with an order of $10 or more just by clicking a link that is going to be in our episode description and our show notes. Again, you can look in our episode description, our show notes, and anywhere else we're going to be posting this link because we're going to try and get you to post it. This is a great way to support the podcast and help us keep doing what we love doing, and not just being ridiculous. So thank you again, and click that link. Get yourself some snacks. You deserve it. You really do. You had a hard week, man.
Wait.
It's already happened. It's happened.
We're already going. You good?
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure if your GarageBand was ready.
My GarageBand is running. And welcome to the National Age Pressure Podcast with your host, Steve Jobs. Thanks for giving us GarageBand to record this with, I guess. That's where we're at now.
It's your boy Christian, aka Stelio Cantos Stelio. Thank you.
And I'm Joey, aka Joey from the National Meat Podcast. What's the word, boys?
So, let's start spicy. Ladies, have you ever sucked a penis that was small? We were just in the pre-show. That's what I'm going to call it now because it's more professional.
Everyone has. I'm sure most women have sucked a small penis. Statistically speaking,
it's just. I mean, I know, but it's like, what do you do as a woman when you like a guy, you see it, it's small, and you like, do you leave? I've never had that issue. Do you walk out the room? Do you suck it and see what happens? Do you? Because I mean, I'm not talking like adults here. Don't tell me some weird shit you did when you were a teenager. I mean, has this happened as like a 25-year-old plus person? Because you know what size you like at that point, right? I'm assuming if you've had sex with like six, seven people, you know what's the bottom, the bare minimum.
6.
You masturbate.
How about 50? How about 100? How about you get a good sample size? Kind of like Family Feud, but for penises.
Is. I wonder what the average body count is like for people sexually active.
I'm gonna say 20.
Group.
Well, you got to. What's the age group you're looking at?
25 plus, like you're saying, 25 plus. like 25 to 35, like 10 years.
Adults.
Like what's the average?
That's a long time, bro. Though, that's a long time for an average. Because 25 to 35 for me is some people's lifetimes.
So you know what? Let's say. I don't know. What do you want to say? Like
25, 35. You could be married during that time.
Yes. Well, yeah, you can. And then there's that one body.
I've been married for 6 years. I mean, it's been one body for a while.
Right.
I don't want to get too into straight male podcasting territory and talk body counts, but well, I don't know. I never ask people, so I don't really know anyone's number around me.
Yeah, I don't ask that.
Yeah.
Also, honestly, guys lie.
Well, I guess it's time for a user.
I guess everybody.
When a user submitted, everybody does a little bit. There was one time that I spoke to
DMs with pictures and video of all of your partners. Thank you.
There was one time I was 18 and I think it just turned 18 and I'm going to commit to a crime, I guess, a little bit. She was 17 and she was telling me her sexual experience. And then I think I asked just out of the blue and she said somewhere like 30 and it kind of blew me back because she had just turned 17. I'm like, wait, where did you put the time in? And I'm trying to figure out how she did it. But it was amazing at the time. Now, that's, I don't give a shit, but my young mind was blown away because I was like, I think that I had slept with one person by that point. It was like 30. How does one even get 30?
I said this on an earlier podcast, but I'll say it again because I think it's so funny. You were the first person I ever lied to about my body count. You asked a group of us in a Taco Bell at fucking 2 a.m. or something when we were 18, 19 years old. and you went around the table asking everybody, and you came to me, and I think I was at 3, which by the way, that 3 probably amounted to 4 minutes of sex. And I said 6, and I forgot. So for years, I just told people it was 3 higher than it was. Now I have no idea the number, but like there was a time where I was like making a list, and I was like, I'm missing 3, and I'm like, oh wait,
there were no 3.
In my sidekick notes back in the day.
You know what? Good for you for keeping the lie. Good for you for keeping up the lie for like a decade. Like that's hard to do, bro. Like that's
because you asked it in front of literally everyone.
And that's commitment.
You asked it in front of everyone.
It was like 7 of us. Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah, you're right.
Listen, how many people have 7 friends at all? Like that's a lot of people. That's basically everyone.
Especially together all at one time in one place. It's difficult to coordinate. Also, I just want to say we're not going to go down that. In New York State, age of consent in New York State is 17.
I think
you did not commit a crime when you were 18.
We hooked up, but I don't think we had sex because I was like juvenile and got really threatened by the number. I was like, holy crap! Like, what if I just literally don't measure up? Yeah, like this is an experience, and like, I mean, I talk to her still now. She's a good friend, and it's a lot more than that now. So shout out to you.
Bless.
Shout out to her and her sexual exploits. People got to have more sex, dude. People got to start getting it on way more. I know we're in a very highly sex culture. We got to start doing it more. But less for babies, more for pleasure. Because too many people are having babies, man. Too many people. Yeah. There's too many people. When is the great
That's actually the opposite problem,
When are we going to take this away?
It's the opposite problem in a lot of countries, especially Japan. Like where they're having a birthing crisis.
Being born?
Like, yeah.
Isn't
because
Japan,
there's a lot of adults who have figured out. No, it's not.
That's China.
Certain places are more densely populated, like like Shibuya or Tokyo or something like that. But I think that's the problem everywhere, right? Like try to get on a 7 train, like during rush hour, see if you can tell the difference between Tokyo and that. I don't think you'll. Besides that, probably
also,
people are a little nicer.
There's no such thing as a birthing crisis. A birthing crisis is just a government saying we want more of us to exist. And there's not
more
enough.
workers.
There's enough people. We know that now. There's too many people.
There's like, also if we can't figure out feeding people, and like niggas, there should be we need to stop the conveyor belt.
So this is a good
stop
place.
The production. Stop the
there's people who are homeless.
This is a good
Let's focus on the living and homeless before we make imaginary people that may also be homeless.
That may also be homeless. Like setting them up to be homeless.
But that's where it's a scale it's a tipping scale, right? Like I think you go too far anywhere and it's like it negatively affects everybody, right? So like you have aging politicians and aging, people in power, and the gap gets wider and wider and wider, then the generational divide looks more stark, right? Like but the boomer between the what's behind Generation Z, which boomers are at the end of their lifespan, like because we waited all that time. I don't know. It's really weird. It's a really weird thought to think that like some places are struggling even with homelessness, but also struggling with the population starting to dip. Like, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of documentaries and some of it's workforce related, but a lot of it does have to do with just the fact that it's like you have men who'd rather jerk off into to robots than women. So, I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
workforce
I think I kind of get it.
Maybe give these homeless people jobs. Their workforce problem solved,
right?
Or give niggas who make less than the jobs you need. I'm sure there's somebody with Amazon who's like I think I watched something that was saying there isn't enough. What the fuck? I think it was doctors. There's like not enough doctors. And it's like, because it literally costs like $300,000 to be a fucking doctor. Of course, who has that to just spend? Yeah. $3,000 and a decade of schooling. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of doctors when you can be a YouTuber for 3 years and be a millionaire. That That's kind of how society works now.
What's really funny about that is that the that stereotype of if everyone gets paid the same, then like if the janitor and the doctor are getting paid the same, then why would anybody become doctors? Which is just so crazy because it's like, bruh, you think the only reason why niggas become doctors is because of the money?
Yeah, a lot of people. I've actually fucked with.
Like you can't.
I've actually, for some reason, fucked with a lot of women in healthcare, and I know niggas is gonna say like, "Oh, them nurses is freaks." Not just nurses, like healthcare people, doctors. For some reason, I bump into a lot of bleeding hearts out there in the world, in the dating world, and like a lot of these women like are literally making no fucking money because they're like they have to take those steps back to do internships or they're hemorrhaging money in school loans. Like they're not rich; they just genuinely care about people. Which why they fuck with me, I don't know. I must be a sad puppy case.
You are. You're cute and you're good for a weekend. But traveling nurses, they really do be making bank, bro. Bank. They're not. They're going away. Yeah, they're losing some time, but like they come back with like double what some people make in like maybe 2-3 months. Like that's
as they should.
That's wild.
Dude, my one ex. I was talking to my ex the other day. And she was saying how like actually every time I talk to her, it's like we clock in a couple of times a year and catch up. And every single time she's in a new location or has gone to several new locations. And like every single time, everywhere she goes, all the nurses hate her because they know she's making way more money than them and living well because she has like a better stipend than the regular local. Like she has a stipend for living. So she's getting paid to live somewhere on top of already getting paid more than the local nurses.
And then they're taking care of her.
Hating her.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what?
6 figures and they're fucking not.
Do hate that. Yeah, no. It's a sticky situation.
Somebody especially when you got somebody doing the same job making more than you.
Well, I've seen it happen. Like I used to. Same. This just scared the living shit out of me just now. Joni sent me over like a message and I just clicked on it. It was a video, but I didn't expect for the audio to be 911. What's your emergency? And I freaked out because my high ass just like literally started looking around for a dispatcher. Like, what the fuck? How did they find me? Tying into that stupid video I just sent you guys of that dude getting arrested during a podcast, which is amazing. That's the only way to end the National Meat Treasure. After its long, lengthy 2,000 episode run, one of us or all of us getting arrested. Like, yeah.
So it's like the last episode of
Seinfeld.
We're all
the fucking tigers. Yeah, it is. It's exactly like that. But somebody's asking where all the exotic animals are. Like, where'd you keep the fucking hippos? And like, because we become obviously exotic animal dealers, exotic animal dealers.
Exotic animal dealers?
Yes, that is my dream job is to be a poacher.
No, definitely not, bro. Like, I am not fucking with lions, bro. Those niggas.
Dude, like I said, killing shit on a hot climate in a fucking drop top Jeep. Oh my God, that would be the life and a half for me.
I think it is. I think that's exactly what I see Justin in. Sorry, not Justin. I'm really high again, man. Look, this is my fault. Sasha, because this Pineapple Express really got me going. What I also see you as, Sasha, is the voodoo dude from Princess and the Frog. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm always like meaning to look into voodoo because I don't know anything about it, but like every time I go to read something, I fall asleep.
Definitely get into it.
I guess it's not my destiny to know about my black magic. Also, since we're here, let's talk about the National Meat Treasure drinking game. Every time Christian says I'm too high right now, take a shot. Every time I say something mildly homosexual, also take a shot. Watch it with your friends.
Hold on. Let's also add anytime Sasha says TikTok, like do a body shot.
Are you trying to kill him?
Yeah, we're trying to do death.
You know what's funny though? I have lately I've been saying I saw something or I saw a video instead of saying I saw a TikTok, just because like people absorb your information way better when people who don't have TikTok will absorb your information better if you just don't say it's from TikTok, which is so weird because like if I'm telling you, yo, I saw a TikTok about the African slave trade, and someone's in their head, they're picturing like kids dancing as they teach me about the African slave trade. So, so I really just started saying like, yeah. Or like sometimes I'll just straight up say like, yeah, I read an article, and I just really just like watch the TikTok and then maybe do
it's
like
way better
Google research on it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should do. Actually, that's what everybody should do.
Yeah.
You know,
people have that filter. They got that filter on it. You know.
Yeah, it's the negative connotation towards the word, right? Like there was I was watching Bar Rescue clips, which is like my guilty pleasure, which is something I wanted to ask you guys also. Once I finish it. Yeah. I didn't get the live response, but I want it. Bar Rescue, Kitchen Nightmare, that's my shit. But I was watching one episode to tie in what you guys were just saying. Basically, the dude and his father-in-law opened up a brewery. It starts to tank, right? The beer's great, but the restaurant sucks. And what's his name? Taffer, like ask him, he's like, what experience do you have in the restaurant business? Like what business, like what experience do you have with bars? And they say nothing. Like we watch videos on YouTube, and like somehow like that instantly, like you can say that same sentence, like, and it could be amazing, or you could say that same sentence and be made a fool on national television, like he did, like YouTube, like he literally just like completely reamed this poor man who like it looked like a nice restaurant. It wasn't dirty. It was just stupid, like stupidly run. It wasn't like he's like, you know, it's not like the guy like didn't know not to like cook chicken to like, or like have like, you know, like had like an open gas line or some shit. Like it, and the dude's just like honest. Like I learned a lot of this off YouTube, which is almost all the world at this point.
Right.
So Taffer,
I mean, bro, listen,
relax.
Listen, I remember when I was in, I want to say 7th or 8th grade, middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it. I had this teacher. He was like this real pro-black, long dread, light skin, he looked like a chunky J. Cole. And I remember we have to do a report about something. And I remember him saying, sexy. He's like, I want sources and I want them from books, not from the internet. Don't go in like Yahoo something. And like, obviously he was like, right. Like Yahoo was not the wave back then. Actually, was not going to give you the wave. But I mean, he was generally pretty wrong about the internet. Like he generally missed the bag with that one. Like who the fuck reads shit?
Yeah.
90%.
He definitely
anything
didn't.
I know about, I've fixed my car off the strength of YouTube. Not this current one because it's amazing, but any car I had before this, I fixed it via YouTube.
Dude, there's plenty of things to learn on there, and the fact that like, but you know, this is just an ad for YouTube at this point. But it was just so funny, like that reaction, and then that could elicit like multiple like if your doctor said it's like what's your accreditation? Like he's like, well, you know, I caught some videos on YouTube. And you know, I got really focused that day. So
okay,
yeah, you like, definitely you got tendinitis. But
let's put you in this position. Let's say Joni's got some medical problem. Your insurance is not covering it. Don't tell me you wouldn't at least look at YouTube to see like a fix or at least like an herbal medication.
Yeah,
right. If I had to do surgery on you, I would do it with the strength of YouTube. I would risk that.
Yeah. No. Listen, I'm like not saying that you can't do it. It's just that, like, once you start, like, there's certain. I think it's when you start to charge for the service, people start to be like, "All right, like, like what?"
Well, yeah,
sorry, but I don't think my leg belongs here. Like, you know, it's like one of those things. Like, I don't know, man. But that brings me back to it. What is your guilty pleasure, guys? Because I want to hear it on air. I want the world to know, and I want people to chime in with this one because I get excited.
My guilty pleasure TV show. I don't suffer from guilt. I don't feel guilty about anything I've ever done.
Shut up! But there's definitely one that you know that most people would just be like, "Can we watch something else?" Like after a while, but like I can literally binge hours of fucking Bar Rescue for no reason, or like how we talked. Call back to one of the first episodes. Like those dudes who just build like fucking pools like with their hands and shit, and they're in some kind of like, you know.
My kid loved those like Indonesian guys. Yeah, my kid loves those videos for some reason. That's who showed me them.
But
like,
why can I watch that for hours?
Build pools out of their bare hands.
You can.
Or like the person cutting.
I don't know though.
I don't know if I call it a guilty pleasure. It's one of those pleasures that just like it can't be denied by yourself, but most people would be turned off by
it. My guilty pleasure is making beats. And I also don't suffer from guilt when it comes to things I enjoy. Like,
damn it, man, you guys suck.
Yeah, man.
You know what?
All right. I'll give you this.
Meatheads.
I'll give you something.
Me something.
I'll give you something. So when it comes to television, if I'm watching it and you don't like it, it's probably because you suck. I will never suffer from guilt for that. But I definitely have been like in with a woman who wanted to like get it in, and I definitely forced her to listen to Limp Bizkit for like an hour.
Is that how you get yourself
guilty for that?
Is that how you get yourself bricked up? You just start listening to hot dog water and fucking whatever chocolate anuses.
Listen,
I can't. Starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
There you go.
Listen,
that's what. See, that wasn't far.
I had made a reference to nu metal, which for those who don't know is like kind of like a combination of like rap and metal that was popularized in like the early 90s.
Please.
Like
everyone has heard at least one dumb song. It has crossed the lexicon.
This girl, the black woman I sleep with have not. So, I made a nu metal joke, and she didn't get it. And I was like, "Do you not know who Korn is?" She's like, "I maybe have heard of that before." And we went down a rabbit hole for like an hour about. I showed her the song with Method Man and Korn. We just
dream about like that song was like hit every market like possible, as hard as possible. Do you remember that video? They're just dead. It was fucking cool. Everyone watched it. If you were alive, your eyeballs were there. I'm just saying.
She was alive and she was not there. I think she was like in her 30s. So it just did not. That part of the culture did not hit her the way it hit me, 30s? And I had to explain to her. Yes.
How long?
Like she was in her 30s as I knew her, so she should have been around the same time as she was around. She was my age when these things were happening.
Okay,
no, I did not.
I thought you were talking. That's what I thought you were dealing with. I was like, whoa, have you like dipped into the cougar honeypot? Like, cause that like
I had one cougar ever. It was weird and she was white. It was gross. It was not a fun experience. She had a 6-pack though. That was pretty cool. But other than that, no. I stick to my age.
Cougars be out
range.
there, bro. And when they come after you, there's very little you can do. I don't know, man.
Well, my time for a cougar has passed. My time for I'm 35. I'm going to be 35 this year.
Bro,
like, cougars are not after me.
So you don't tell me like a 55-year-old woman couldn't like walk you down and be like, "Hey, listen, I want to take care of you. I'm going to suck this dick."
I feel like if I'm listen, like a cougar is like if she's in her 40s or 50s and I'm in my 20s. But if I'm in my 30s pushing 40 and you're 55, that's not really a cougar anymore. That's like my dating pool. Like that's like like no one bat eyelashed us together.
Yeah.
20 years,
that's
20 years
totally
beyond you is your dating pool?
At that age, I mean, 35 to like 55.
Technically, you can't go backwards. Like you can't go 20 years back and be okay. Like you gotta be okay with 20 years. Like, okay, like that's a long time, man. That's a whole lifetime. That's somebody who's maybe been in a marriage before, has got like a few kids already. It maybe even grandma right now. So,
well, see, all right. So
gilfs be out
55
there.
Might be a cougar, but like it's got to be older than 50 because I feel like 50 is. Here's the thing about cougar, right? The thing about being a cougar is that you have to be super far away in culture and like time and place than the person you're trying to fuck with. So like, if you're 19 and you're fucking with a 40-year-old, that person's in a whole different. Like, imagine as a 35-year-old talking to a 19-year-old now.
Right?
No, there is cool. Like, I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm saying like their place and like I could like a 19-year-old could never quantify the life that a 45-year-old has lived. It couldn't ever dawn on them. But as a 35-year-old, I work with dudes who are in their 60s. I fucking, I listen to fucking Luther Vandross. Like you couldn't there's really very little you could put me onto.
Right.
Is that like the marker disco for old head?
I listen to Luther Vandross.
Billy Ocean. check.
Do like the only difference is like we listen to the same music, except you listen to it at prom. I listen to it because my mom listened to it at prom, but it's not that different. You know what I mean?
Right.
YouTube, don't flag me. Caribbean Queen. Now we're sharing the same dream.
That song is
now
that song.
I don't think I've ever fucked anybody who listens to Billy Ocean.
You said you never fucked anybody to Billy Ocean?
No more love never fucked two. On the run.
No, let's just do the discography, dude. Let's just do the whole discography. Let's get it out, belt it out right now.
Yeah, you know any more Billy Ocean songs?
I love that song. No, that's my favorite one. Because that video. Oh, hold on. Can we talk about videos around that time for 2 seconds? You've ever watched Orange Juice Jones? A video about. Bro, it is the most epic song. It's right around that time, Luther Vandross, like that type of just kind of crooner almost. And it's about this dude, stunning in the rain. Okay, that's what it was. And he sees his girl like cheating on him. And I saw you with him, and I'll never be the same. Like that.
I know the song.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that shit, when he breaks her down, bro, is like, now take your bitch. He's just walks her down, calling her an alley cat, saying that you broke. You better leave all that stuff right there. You didn't come with none of that. Like he just lets her go, and like the next 30 seconds of that video are her impoverished, obviously, possibly homeless and dirty. Damn. Like it is one of the most like if there's any kind of like consolation when you as an artist, you really can write whatever you want when it comes to music. Like you could really you could show your ex like completely just doing awful things, and you could call it in the name of art. Kind of rolling into some topical news, guys. You guys know where I'm going with this?
No.
Well, Kanye West walking away from Coachella.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
The nigga really did it, bro. He
did it. Yo, okay, listen, bro.
That
doesn't
surprise
big.
me though. That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me, but it's huge. Yeah. And and then consequently, I think the next day I saw like Pete Davidson with Kanye West's daughter on his lap on a golf cart, and I was just like, this is like, man, you guys are really working overtime to get like somebody like hurt. Like, just chill. Like, just let the man like do whatever he's got to do at this point. But yeah, man, fucking like, what do you think about this, Sasha? Because you silent on this. Do you not care no more?
I'm tapped out on Kanye news, man. I'm so tapped out. Like, I think the culture is, and like, it's like, what's another cool thing happening? I don't know, but like, that's weird. Why would Pete Davidson have Kanye's daughter on his lap? There's nothing not strange about that.
It isn't.
There's nothing not strange about that.
There's something visceral that comes out, bro.
I don't feel like that's.
Listen, maybe they caught it at the wrong time. Maybe it was just like she literally, but it's still a very odd thing, you know. Like either way, I think it's like it just proves like paparazzi really dips into places. I don't know.
I'll say this though. Yeah. I mean, you know, if Kim Kardashian asks me to do anything, if a billionaire woman asks me to watch her fucking kids, I mean, I can't say no to that. Right. Pete's at his crescendo. Like he's never once that relationship ends, he's never going to do better than that on a financial level, at least ever, or an ass level. You're not going to get an ass that big or a bank account that big ever in your life. So if Kim says, "Hey, watch my kid for a second,"
they're having like real sex. So like a billionaire eating your ass is like a total possibility. And wow, that's
do you
powerful.
Think they use condoms in that tax bracket,
bro? No, hell no. It's lambskin, actually. Maybe lambskin condoms. I think only rich people or people who are very strange look for lambskin condoms. So I think like that's what the relationship is working on. They don't worry about the STDs because they're up aboard. Yeah. But they can just they want the children. Like new blood. Or you think he's just shooting up the club because she's on IUDs and shit? Well, she's not even. She's sterile, right? She didn't even have this last child. It was actually.
No, I think she just didn't. I think she just didn't have it because she didn't want to, and she could afford not to.
Yeah.
I don't think she was. I mean, we don't know that she's on birth control.
It was part of her health,
of.
I think.
Probably. I mean, she's older. You know, she's like 40 something.
For sure.
And you got money, and you know, a big part of her business is her image, and it's like, yo, I can't just be getting pregnant and shit, nigga. This is my job, you know.
Well, her job would be to get pregnant. Like her job is to generate headlines. So if she was pregnant, like that would just kind of be her being better at her job.
Adds at a dynasty because that's our royalty for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know how people finally
have a white baby. You know what? Kim doesn't want a white baby. I don't think so. So
no, she doesn't. She don't want that privilege.
Our white baby.
She wants to. Definitely. She's trying to avoid that. She's going for Indonesian, Cambodian, maybe Laotian. Definitely, going somewhere in Southern Asia, Eastern Asia, if the next one comes out. But I don't know, man. It's a very strange times, which kind of brings me to another news topic that is beat to hell, but might as well fucking mention it for the algorithm. Will Smith getting banned for 10 years from the Oscars, as far as any kind of attendance.
They gave him 10
years. So as far as attendance, so he can be nominated apparently and still win awards, but isn't allowed to attend or be around the any kind of party or whatever it has to do with the Oscars. Just not allowed for 10 years. Now, I'm going
to say this.
I don't care.
I'm going to say this. First of all, if the people have any sense, the Oscars won't even exist in 10 years. This was the lowest rated year of all time, and they get lower every year. So in 10 years, there won't even be an Oscars. Maybe 8. He's got 8 before it's like a private ceremony that doesn't get televised.
It'll become the Wills. It will become the Wills or become the Smiths, and that's how we're going to move on. It's going to be a news.
That'd be so funny if Will Smith sued the Oscars and it was called the Wills.
Yeah, the Wills. And it's just like 2 hours of like Fresh Prince like clips and other movies.
Did you see the Did you see the thing about Jada? I don't know if she said it in an interview, but like apparently she like released a statement saying that like I didn't ask him to do that. I don't need to be protected. Right. Which is Will. All right, now you gotta drop Jada because like her whole
she's
like
kind of
admission statement right now is to just fuck you up, dude.
It's just whack, bro. She really just came for you. You know what it is, and like I'm exhausted for them. I feel bad for him quite a bit at this point, because like there's news cycles that are coming out about like shit that like he did like. That they talked about 20 years ago when they first got like married or whatever it was, or 10 years ago, and it's like damn, that's like really personal. Like one was like Jada never wanted to get married with him, and it was just like she wasn't really interested in the like more in the article more has to do with I think with the construct of marriage. Like she wasn't agreeing to that, and so like really in the grand scheme is that she wanted to be with this man, but she just didn't want it to have, a title or something like that to whatever. Right. But it's just like shit. Like you guys just throw that title out, like mad date. Like that one, that kind of sucks. Like over the top, dude. Like you got to hear.
I mean, I just like
girl does that.
Will just drop her, Will. Just drop her. Also,
you could do better, bro.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know like why this flew under the radar so hard, but I saw pictures where around the August Alsina time where it was like Will and Margot Robbie were like filming something, and there were a lot of like kind of scandalous photos of them together that would make the implication that they were having a thing. Margot, please talk about how banging Will's dick is for the culture, all right? Like, get your name out there, get your face, and recover Will. I mean, it's a white woman, but at least, somebody would be talking positively about Will.
Bro, but it's not just any white woman, bro. It's Margot Robbie. Like, I'm a blush. You better
all
stop.
White women are any white women.
I don't... Who is Margot Robbie?
Bro, stop.
Like, what is she
Wolf of Wall Street. Like, she was in Wolf of Wall Street. She was
right. Yeah, she was in Wolf of Wall Street.
And she was Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movies.
Right.
So like she was
like
the
2018. Yeah. 2018, like 2019, It Girl for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I never heard the name until the
really?
shit with Will Smith when they were like, yeah,
it was like It's spelled like Margot.
Yeah. That's how you spell Margot.
Margot.
Like,
yeah, she's no that was, I remember hearing that, and it was during that Suicide Squad like filming, which like makes it hotter.
That's what it was.
Because can you imagine if that was filmed?
Well, it was so funny because when I saw the pictures, like there's like photo booth pictures of like they're almost kissing, and I think he's like lifting up his shirt and showing a nipple, and she's like licking his nipple, and I'm like, this is pretty suggestive. But I thought it was for the movie, and then I found out the movie was Suicide Squad, and I was like, oh, they're not in costume, they're in plain clothes.
They're not doing the Suicide Squad,
bro. Yeah, there was no Harley Quinn makeup. It was just like night on the town, and I'm like, yo, Margot, just come out and say Will got that bomb dick, so the culture can recover for him, like, because he's getting literally. I heard he went to a mental institution.
Oh,
he checked himself
into a mental
institution.
Him go down this.
I mean, as a rich guy, a mental institution probably just means like a massive spa with doctors. Yeah, but I don't know.
That's down bad. Like, that's the definition right there.
So I never got to publicly say my piece on what happened. Not that it's really different from anyone else, but I just thought, something that to touch on something that as Sasha said about the Academy Awards no longer being a thing in 10 years. It's like, I remember talking to some people and hearing, oh my God, it was an embarrassment. It's terrible, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. Honestly, fuck the Academy, bro. Fuck that whole institution. Fuck the Grammy institution as well. Fuck the institution of Hollywood. Like, it's funny, like, older straight white men being like, oh man, this is such a dark spot on Hollywood. Nigga, fuck Hollywood. Y'all niggas racist, sexist, rapists. Like, y'all niggas are all filthy.
Sorry,
that
listeners.
institution is filthy, bro. Fuck Hollywood.
I'll say this. I'll circle back. In 10 years, there's going to be no Oscars, but wait. I think there's going to be a YouTube Awards, like a real like YouTube gala kind of event.
That's a fact.
And people will fuck with that because like
the Will Smith family.
Owned by the Will Smith family, because like niggas fuck with YouTube. Like I remember, bro. There's this one little. So one of my I guess this could be considered a guilty watching pleasure, and even though I feel no guilt for it, but I do love these like white corny bodybuilders who like come from the ground up. Because like I saw a lot of them. Like I remember there's this one kid. He's got 1 million subscribers now, but Jesse James West. I saw him like I found his videos like during the pandemic. He was living with his parents, just making fitness content, what I eat in a day, taking on Arnold Schwarzenegger's diet. And like his content's really corny now because he's, all these fitness YouTubers get to this point where they run out of ideas. But like he's now hanging out with like fucking Thor and fucking Larry Wheels, like all the big boys in fucking like the bodybuilding community. Thorbjorn, the nigga from Game of Thrones.
Oh. Yeah, we didn't know. We were just being polite and letting you nerd out.
The giant nigga.
The mountain.
Him, Larry Wheels, like right, the mountain. That's wild. Jesse James just filmed a video with like all the top bodybuilding guys in Dubai, and this is a little kid. He's like 21 or 22, and like when I started watching this shit during the pandemic, like he was living in his parents' house in Jersey. He was still in college because his parents wouldn't let him drop out, but his mom filmed his videos, and now he has like a crew, and like he watched I don't root for white people's success, but like I saw a video a few months ago where he like threw a party like for his crew to like celebrate like 1 million subscribers, and like his manager was there and the niggas who filmed with him were there, and I'm just like, damn, like that was a really crazy come up to watch. So people will really fuck with the YouTube Awards because like the people is what makes the awards.
Would fuck with
it. Like bro, the movie, the picture of the year at the Oscars, no one's ever heard of this movie. What's it called? Coda or something? You're a super TV watcher. You probably heard of it.
The shit out of me.
Hold on, let me look at it.
Wait, what was it?
I think it's called Coda. Best Picture. Let me look this up real quick. Best Picture 2022. Coda, K-O-D-A. You're the most TV watching this nigga I know. Have you heard of this? It won Best Picture for 2022. Every podcast I listened to, every source I went to, no one even heard of this movie. So, like, if no one heard of the movie, like, If no one heard of the Picture of the Year, like the thing about the Oscars, it's like a niche event for people in that space, for people who care about filmmaking and actresses, actors, directors, scripts, whatever. But like the common people, which is most people, 99.9999% of the population, like we don't care about this shit. Like, you know, for us, Will Smith was already a winner. We all grew up with Men in Black and fucking Hancock and fucking Independence. Yo, in Independence Day, that's not even Will Smith's movie. He's only in the movie for like 20 minutes. He's not the star of that movie. And that's how powerful Will is to us. So the Oscars didn't give him his nod until King Richard, probably one of his least popular movies.
Yeah.
So like clearly like, they don't know what the people want. It's just about the art.
Well, the Oscars has never been about the people. Yeah, I love King Richard. It's a fucking amazing, amazing film. It's its peers reviewing his work and what they see as finally his grandiose performance, right? So there's a lot of actors, especially black actors, who deserve their due many years before, but you know it's only when they usually display some kind of terrible, you know, poverty porn kind of shit that you know they finally get their nod. But King Richard is a little bit of that, but it's just so good because like he really just it's like that Pursuit of Happiness kind of Will Smith. He taps into that part of his brain for that role. Really does.
Yeah, I mean, job. Like I understand what the Oscars is for and what it's about, but like the fact that it's like $1 million event broadcast world over and no one's even watching it, like it's not going to be the massive thing it is today, or it was 20 years ago, the massive like cultural event in 10 years. The YouTube Awards, and they already give out plaques. So, I mean, all they need is a fucking like actual award show, which capitalism is dumb and they shouldn't have an award show, but people would be way more behind that than the Oscars because you'd have millions of people from millions of niche groups like checking in on like their faves basically. Because like if you're like the most viewed like you know, Mr. Beast I think is like the most viewed YouTuber. Like more people watch Mr. Beast than the Oscars.
Like the David Dobrik of the world.
Yeah. Yo,
David Dobrik, fucking Logan Pauls and whatnot.
You know something that's crazy too.
Logan Paul is definitely the most viewed human at this point.
I also want to say, like, hearing all those people say comedians feel like it's not safe to tell your jokes. It shouldn't fucking be safe. Like,
it's never
get your
safe.
Funny shit off. Get your funny shit off by all means, right? But like, just like you said on the episode, it's like part of the funny shit is the possibility of somebody fucking you up after or being upset about it. But like on some real shit though, like you disrespect somebody, there's going to be consequences, whether those consequences are moral or not, you know, regardless, that's for you to deal with. That's why you're not supposed to be mean to people. Cause like, it's not right. Also people might smack the shit out of you. So like, you know, you talk about a nigga's wife.
You know what it is with comedians? Comedians all have humble beginnings, right? They're playing clubs to no one, to 9 people. The last 2 comedy shows I went to, there had to be under 20 people in the room, and most of the show was not getting laughs until people started getting fucked up. So all these comedians come from like very humble beginnings.
Of course.
And they're doing this while experimenting with, you know, divisive jokes. So really the goal for comedians is not to tell the joke. It's to maintain their safety until they have enough money to protect them. Which them. Is literally just the white way of doing things, right? Like that's why police exist. You build up your shit until you tell everyone everything is wrong until you are on a fucking mountaintop where no one can reach you anyway, and then you just continue to do wrong from Mount Olympus. So that's what all these comedians are doing it for. There's comedians out there who like you could walk into them in the street and they tell you a bad joke, you can fuck them up. And like, maybe 2 years from now they'll be Joe Rogan level, but like they want to make sure they don't get fucking put in jail for fighting back or get their arm broken before they're at Joe Rogan, Louis C.K., whatever levels of fame, the Dave Chappelle's of the world. Dave Chappelle couldn't say any of the shit he says now in if he was making $60,000 a year. He couldn't. No. He would get his ass beat.
Yeah.
Hell no.
You know, thing is though, I like Will Smith. He was wilding. Like when that first happened, I was like, "Oh, this shit is funny." And then I was like, "Yo, really? Will was really wilding, bro." Like on TV, this nigga went up and smacked the nigga, and then it was like, "Damn, it was another black man too." But I do respect.
How much funnier would it have been if it was a white guy? Like if it was a white
it wouldn't
actor.
Have been funny because they would have killed Will Smith on the spot.
Shit, they would have
shot him. They would have blew up the Oscars and blamed it on him. But
I think you could probably get away with smacking. What's the nigga who killed somebody recently that also had something to say about Will Smith? He's the guy who shot somebody on a movie set by accident.
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
If Alec Baldwin got smacked, I don't think anybody
Alec
was.
Baldwin. Nah,
Yeah,
nah.
that
Alec
would be
Baldwin's
mad
You
funny.
love Alec Baldwin?
I love Alec Baldwin. Yeah,
I'm indifferent.
Alec Baldwin.
I wouldn't use.
I'm indifferent.
I wouldn't
Alec
use
Baldwin.
love.
Have you ever
for
seen
his
the movie
wife either.
Glengarry?
Yes.
You know what?
Glengarry
I know.
Ross.
One of the reasons why I love Alec
I
Baldwin
love
is
that
because it's because one of his brothers is very like left leaning, and he be
Yeah.
tweeting mad funny shit on Twitter. I just want to say though, I do respect like Will being like, I gotta make a fucking example. He's like, look, I've been the butt of a lot of fucking crazy jokes, but you're not gonna disrespect my
Crazy.
wife. He's like, look, shit is already bad, and I love her. I love her so much that she can fuck a young nigga and fuck up some young R&B singer's life, and everybody make fun of me on the internet for it, but I still love her. That's still my wife. So you're not gonna be out here fucking disrespecting. This ain't gonna be the fucking joke. G.I. Jane, that's not even a good one. Chris, fuck that.
It
And
was
then
not a good
he
joke.
did it. He did his thing, and then he had to double down on it. Like I kind
The
of
double down was hard. I love a good double down.
like, but you know that feeling, that moment when you've been like, shit, I crossed the line, and I have to be consistent at this point. I can't walk it back. So you're like, fuck it, I gotta keep going. I saw it in his eyes. He was like, yeah. And he was just like, fuck. I respected that.
It was
I respect
such a
that on a toxic
sad
level.
moment.
On
a toxic level.
It sucks.
So let me
Will is my
ask
nigga.
you
I hate it
guys.
had to be him. Hate it had to be him.
When do you think what circumstance would have to happen realistically in your life right now? Do you think could happen where you would have to smack somebody for your wives?
You
know what's funny too? I know one of y'all thought of a person. One of y'all thought of a person that would like that nigga would be the nigga who disrespected my wife. If I if there was gonna be somebody who disrespected my wife, it's gonna be her cousin or something. You thought about it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, you live in the forest.
So if they disrespected her, in any form,
like what like under what circumstance? Like what is the nearest
open.
circumstance in your life where you think you would have to smack somebody for your wife? Like, so for example, right, for you, Christian, what I imagine for you is you run a cake business. I imagine you go deliver a cake. Maybe you're delivering a cake in tandem one day for whatever reason. I know you don't do that often, but like this is just my mind. You deliver a cake in tandem. You deliver to a guy. The guy's like, yo, this isn't what I fucking wanted, bitch. You would so quick. You would smack the fuck out of this man. If he disrespected your wife's baking in your face, you would beat that ass.
Listen. People are free to say whatever they want, but it gets to the point where if it's personal, if it becomes personal, it is personal. Like there's no other way to take it besides like you're just coming at her. Like, and then I will regulate. I will regulate. That is all I'm going to say. And so it's not a high bar. It's not a high bar, especially if it's like something my wife.
I know you smack niggas.
My wife is struggling with. If my wife is struggling with something and somebody just like pulls that out, like you got to think about that, right? So you're with somebody married, and I think Joey can attest to this as well. If you're with somebody long term, right? Doesn't matter. You're gonna hear the things that they're insecure about a lot, and
yeah.
You could go two ways. You could be very sympathetic about it, or you could just kind of be a little bit annoyed about it at this point. Either way, you don't want to hear anybody bring it up. And then you hear the next one like bring it up for no reason. Like for no reason. Like you got something in the bag. Like that was his night, right? Like he knew he did like an incredible performance, and his peers were really like leaning towards King Richard, and he was possibly going to be the winner, like his first Oscar for Best Actor. Like,
yeah.
And somebody said something like and made her feel weird for no reason. And he laughed at first because, like I said last time, it's like that trauma response we all have. I think like sometimes
an uncomfortable laugh. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People being like, yo, but he laughed because he thought it was funny. It's like, no, in a giant crowd of people, on stage.
You try to take the joke.
Of course. Yeah, of course you're going to try to play along with the joke.
He tried.
I feel like for you, Joey.
He tried to take the joke.
Joey, I feel like for you, because now I'm like imagining scenarios in which you'd have to smack niggas for your wives. For you, you and your wife work for the same company in different locations. So I imagine you'd have to smack a coworker for hitting on your wife. If there was any reason in your life, I feel like it'd definitely be like a coworker making an aggressive pass.
Joey ain't that
trying to play
an
you.
aggressive pass is something, but
the thing is, my wife is tough, right? Like one of her things, a big part of her personality is like roasting niggas and like being tough.
So why ain't she funny on the podcast?
So like,
let's see. I want to hear her roast you for like 15 minutes. It'd be fun. Absolutely. I know she can get there. Like, cut,
it wouldn't.
When
it
they cut ass, bro.
It wouldn't be funny. It would just be hurtful to me, and I'd probably start crying. And
that's the problem. Really is like dating. Is like being married to a New Yorker, like a New York woman. Like she's gonna cut ass on you,
bro.
Yeah, they say some shit. Like, I take your fat ass over the fucking subway, like you little piece of shit. Like, and you just go, wait, I did.
Yeah,
why'd you have to say it like that? Like you got really aggressive, and I just want hugs.
So it wouldn't be like a coworker hitting on her or something like that. Like she'd handle that shit like aggressively and be funny about it, and probably like advertise it a little bit.
So you're saying she's the slapper in your relationship?
Nah, I'm saying it would more have to be like a customer getting like crazy with her, but no one ever gets that crazy, you know, like
I'm surprised on Staten. You don't I feel like Staten probably has like the worst people to serve, like the worst customers. Like maybe not the worst in New York, but like probably of the boroughs, top
Long
3.
Island.
You're absolutely right, but nobody's getting that crazy where like you'd have to if I'm at work, like if I'm at work and I smack a customer, obviously that's goodbye to my job. And my job pays well. It's a good job. So I would not want to lose that. So to get me to the point where I'm going to put my job in danger or just completely say fuck it, it would have to be really crazy shit. But also Trader Joe's, you're in a Trader Joe's, that's like being in a specific gang's trap house. Like you start disrespecting one of us in a loud way, niggas is pulling up on you, bro. Like you're getting surrounded. Matter of fact, let me tell you a story.
Trap house? What do you guys
let me
got?
tell you
like
a story.
Kimchi?
We got this kimchi on deck, baby. But let me tell you a story.
Trader Joe trap
when
house.
I was working at the Chelsea location, I used to work mornings, so it was about like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was in the winter because it was still really dark. Someone had left the door unlocked, and this like drunk guy walked into the store, and he just like he had like a bag of chips with him, and he just went to this back counter where we were giving out samples. Obviously, like the store's not open, and he's just eating these chips, and we're telling him to get like people are telling him to get the fuck out, right? So I run to the back and I go like tell the guy like, yo, bro, you have to get out of here. And then he like kind of yells back. And he yells back at me, and all I hear is click, 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 click around me. And it's all these crew members surrounding me, taking their box cutters out. Ready, like we're surrounded. But like the crazy thing is I didn't see it. I heard it and looked around. It was kind of like lightsabers to me. It's like you just hear because it's ready.
But it's
about
just
that
box
action.
cutters. It's way lamer.
But it's box cutters.
Like,
and the crazy thing, no, it was way better. You want to know why? Because it was all women. All women around me.
The bitches had your
they're
back.
not gonna
play. Yo, let me tell you something. The female crew members of Chelsea was sliding for me on site. They were team get back. They were like, you're not touching my but it of course never got to that. Because where was my hand already on my fucking box cutter? But we just had to tell him to get the fuck out.
The Trader Joe trap house.
Yeah. Yo, 543. Shout out to 543 gang.
Wow.
So for the listeners, don't steal shit from Trader Joe's or walk in after hours. You will get murdered.
You can steal. It's not my fucking money. It's not my shit. I'm not going to fuck with
Allegedly,
you.
in case a Trader Joe's employee listens to this.
Facts, yeah. I mean, I would never like if I and I do have stories of me catching people stealing when I was a manager, bro. I remember I saw this dude. Oh man, let me not get into it. Working at a grocery store is
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
I would be so fucking fat if I worked at Trader Joe's, bro. There's so much delicious bullshit in there, and it literally is like delicious bullshit. Like you get like fucking candy corn melted over raisins and shit. Like it's just the weirdest combination of bullshit.
I would almost guaranteed like shit my pants every day because I worked at Whole Foods in the cheese department and I'm just trying all this cheese, some fat fuck.
Oh
and
my
like
God.
just like get ready, blow up that toilet, bro. I worked in the chocolate, coffee, and cheese department. I was set.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good time.
Oh, and it was the beer department as well. So it's a special.
Our bosses give us mad snacks.
Chocolate, coffee, and cheese sounds like a recipe for ultimate constipation.
I feel like that's the recipe for ultimate like colon blow. Yeah.
No, it's diarrhea, but it all comes out in rocks.
It's like a crazy like.
It's like fucking Yoshi shooting eggs out of his mouth.
I wore a beret. I want to give you insight into that. And Yoshi is that's accurate. Yeah, man.
So what's the order we're doing this? You load up on the cheese, right? And then you do the chocolate and the coffee to top it off.
Like obviously I gotta cut cheese, right? I gotta put out new cheese that's coming in, replace whatever's going on. So obviously anything that's coming off of that, I get a little cut. I'm gonna try that. And then I gotta go enrobe some fruit or some other nice little treats, and I do that in the chocolate station. And then I turn around, and that's the espresso bar. So I'm serving up drinks and everything. Bro, that's how it was going. We had.
So basically, the chocolate and the cheese would form a massive ball in your colon if you're not lactose intolerant, because then the cheese is just liquid coming out of you. But if you're not lactose intolerant, it would form a massive rock in your stomach, and then the espresso, that's a diuretic, so that's gonna just shoot it right out of you, just mountain balls, like meatballs coming out of your butt.
I was doing Americanos all day. I was just doing straight espresso, so I was definitely just killing myself.
Let me tell you about my journey with the Americano, my friend. Okay, I drink coffee. I am very caffeinated, 500, 600 milligrams of coffee fucking every day. But man, I was with a woman one time and she ordered an Americano and she was just like, oh, it's just like 3 shots of espresso and water. And I was like, that sounds like it'll give me the jolt I need. Because coffee's kind of wearing down on me. It's not really having the effect it used to in my late 20s when I started drinking coffee. And bro, I went to fucking Starbucks. This was like a year ago, maybe? And I don't remember. But I ordered an Americano and I'm sipping this shit and I'm like, wow, why did I get this black? Because this is literally like darkening my eyes. Like this is bitter. like this coffee is coating my ocular veins. It's so bitter. But I'm drinking it.
I love that.
And the my bowels responded. So now I'm just shitting and jittery as fuck. Because the thing is, like, I think I had an Americano from like Dunkin' Donuts first, which is not a real Americano. That's just basically water.
Right.
But at Starbucks, that's some real espresso. And that shit crawled out of me like Swamp Thing, bro. Like it just ripped out of my fucking ass while I'm jittering and on fire, like texting up a storm, like, hey, what are you doing tonight? What's going on? And now this is a fart joke podcast. I think that's my first fart joke of the podcast, where episode 76, mark it down, people. This is a landmark in National Meat History.
It's a good one, though. National Meat History. That was a good one, though. I liked it. I'm appreciative of that kind of content. So let's do it, boys. I want more fart jokes. Less.
I'm not big on shit and fart jokes. That's why I don't watch South Park as much as I used to.
Yeah,
they don't hit the same.
So I don't have a sense of humor. So just something jokes. I like to say. Like there's mad like stupid humor, like dumb humor shit we think like is funny.
We talk.
Like that, I'm just not like fucking like shit and fart jokes, shit like that. I'm like,
here's my thing.
There's more interesting shit in like the world to think about.
I think for me, the breaking point of shit and fart jokes was when I started getting women. Because
wait, you don't like South Park?
I don't dislike South Park, but sometimes I'm like, this is too lowbrow. Sometimes it's like super highbrow, and sometimes it's super lowbrow. I can't do the lowbrow. The reason is when you start, obviously when you're a kid, shit and fart jokes are funny. But when you start getting women, like you can't in your mind think shitting is funny and like have a woman shit in your house because like they're already, you know, under the patriarchy and think they're not supposed to shit. So like you have to just remove that part of your brain when, you know, your wife's taking massive, or your girlfriend, whatever, is taking massive period dumps. You just got to be cool about it. You just got to just shut it off. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut it off.
That is an amazing.
My thing is, like, I want to
name.
eat at that restaurant. I don't want to think about the shit. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's true though.
Like
you want to eat at the restaurant, so you can't think about how it's made, and you can't laugh at the chef. That's basically where we're at.
You feel me?
The reality is, can I be real with you guys? If you've ever been in the room with your partner giving birth, you're gonna see shit.
I don't want to talk about this.
You're gonna see
exactly
shit.
Why though.
And
that's exactly why she's gonna shit on the table, and they don't want you to bring that shit up. They don't want you to bring that shit up ever again.
Like, that's not funny. That's not funny.
It's not funny, but it is a part of it. Like, I'm just saying, you are gonna see
which
your girl shit herself at one point.
By the way, ladies, I don't know if you know. We're at the age where a lot of our peers, our female peers, our women peers, are, you know, kind of at that time where they're like, should I have kids? Should I not? And with that, I just want to say there's a lot of psychological damage behind shitting on a table in front of 7 strangers. So maybe you don't want to go there. Maybe you don't want to go that mile, and probably just
maybe you just get a doula.
Get those tubes tied and get it rawed. A doula is worse to shit in front of, I feel like.
Nah, yeah, because they're gonna make like a necklace out of that shit, and literally
I feel like a doctor's not gonna make
family.
A doctor's not gonna make any comments about it, but they know it's happening. A doula is just gonna be like, "It's fine, it's natural," which I feel like will make it worse.
It's fantastic.
Like, it's
Why don't we
okay.
smear it?
I understand you're shitting everywhere. It's okay. Don't worry.
If the baby eats it, it's fine. Listen, I lived with a doula, and literally it was shit like that all the time. Like, I'm sure this is beautiful to a lot of people, but she made like fucking
placenta smoothies.
She dehydrated placentas for necklaces, for smoothies. She also made imprints of the placenta, and it would resemble the tree of life. So I don't know, man.
Bruh.
Not my thing.
And that's where we'll end it for all the sorry to offend our doula audience.
I'm probably gonna get attacked.
I know our audience is 99% doulas. I'm sorry to offend you all out there.
Yeah, no.
The doula community is absolutely in an uproar. That's it.
I respect doulas.
We respect. Like, damn, Joey, you know some
respect
doulas?
Your profession. This has been the National Meat Treasure. Find me on TikTok and Instagram at thin.cruel.lips. Follow the National Meat Treasure at National Meat Treasure on TikTok and Instagram, and at NMT Pod on Facebook. And like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, even if it's just a fucking emoji. Share this shit. You don't even have to share it. Just click share on the clips, and they glow up. You don't have to put them anywhere, because I know this content is embarrassing and you don't want to send this to your moms. But maybe send it to your mom. Maybe you'll bond over. Maybe I'll make a doula shit clip, and we can share in that that joy of creating life, of bringing life into the world. So share our shit, favorite our shit. Tell your friends about our shit. And like I said, play that National Treasure drinking game, or maybe suck a penis. Take a shot, because I said some gay shit.
Yeah, literally, that's everybody's conversation, is that we're sus. And the whole group is sus. It's fine. It doesn't matter. The National Meat Treasure releases episodes every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Remember that we are coming for your neck, and things might be changing soon, and we'll get into that. And but we're gonna be around and taking care of you, babies.
Yeah, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Saint Thrillah, and follow at 303BAM for some dope ass rap music.
Hell yeah.
That's all I got.
All right, boys. I think that's it. Peace, love, and